Hey everyone, welcome to another video on Blender Geometry Nodes. In this video, we are going to see about Transform Geometry Node. I release new videos on a weekly basis. Please subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified when I upload a new one. This is Jay from CJ Academy. Let's start. Okay, I have my custom workspace opened by default. I'll share the link in the description. You can take a look. Let's create a geometry node. Today we are going to see about geometry operations transform geometry node. This is one of the most often used geometry node. It can be used to transform a particular geometry or a combination of geometries, and this is exactly the same as what you see here. Okay, you have translation, that is the movement using these arrows. Okay, see, and rotation, nothing but this. Okay, and then scale is nothing but this square angle. Okay, now if I say control Z, and this is what you can do exactly with this transform geometry now. So you can rotate, you can translate in any axis, and you can rotate in any axis, and you can scale in any axis. The main advantage of nodes in general is this non-destructive nature. So now I have actually modified few things here. A moment back, I changed the same things in the 3D viewport, but I had to do Control Z to come back to the original geometry. But here I can just skip this transform geometry connection and you have this, and whatever the change you have done is still there. If you want, you can do that, and you can connect these to join geometry node. I will cover about this in a separate video. We can create an abstract art just from one cube. That is the power of transform geometry node combined with the modifier stack. I'll show you how to do that. Let's put this back to default values. This is one. Okay, that's fine. We need a join geometry node. I'll just add it here, but I'll explain about joint geometry in a separate video. I have transformed the geometry, and also I have the untransformed geometry combined. Okay, we have two geometries here in the output. How do you see that? If you move this one out, you can see it. Okay, now let's bring this back to 0. I'll show you the power of transform geometry when you stack it multiple times. So Shift D will duplicate this, and let's duplicate it few times. Okay, I think now we have at least 6 to 7. I think its count is here, so 7 we have. So let's maybe add one more. So 8. So 8 times I have duplicated this geometry node setup. Now I'll change this, okay, to 0.75. I have covered about the group input and group output in a separate video. I'll share the link in the description. You can take a look, because in this case the group input and group output node plays a key role, because in the first stack you had a geometry node, the untransformed one and the transformed one. You have reduced the size by 0.75 and then connected it here. Now the group output of the first stack is the group input for the second stack. So this is what I have clearly explained in another video. You can take a look at it. That transformed or the reduced size geometry output is the input. That means again this is further reduced by 0.75 and then fed into the next stack. That means by the 8th time you will get a gradually reduced size geometry. It doesn't show up here because it's all in the same position on the same XYZ value. Now when I change this, it will propagate along the 8 count. If you see, you can see. So now it is gradually reduced to a certain value. And not just that, here we have two geometry on the first stack. Okay, I mean here. That means 2 is fed, and that means you get 4 out of it. So 2, 4, 2, 4, 8, 16 in that multiplication, it had to have grown to a certain count to get you a kind of an abstract art or abstract object. I'll show you how much is hidden here. So we just translated in only one axis. Let's little bit rotate on the Y and Z so that you get a nice twist. Every time we feed this geometry output to input, the count increases. That means there are more number of cubes hidden here. To identify that, we need another transform geometry to this connection. Now notice we only see kind of 8 or 9 objects. Okay, now as I move this, I can notice there are more objects hidden. You can see, and each rotation propagates along the modifier stack. So you get a nice abstract art already, a nice rotation. All we did is we took a cube, transform it one times, and transform it one times, and then stack it 8 times. That means it has multiplied by 8 times. That means 2 into 4 into 8 into like that. So then we got, I think, close to hundreds of objects, and it can be controlled just by using the transform node. That's the power of transform geometry node. So you can get any kind of abstract art from this. This is something is already covered by the Blender community, by the Blender official training for geometry nodes. If you guys have already seen that, you know the familiarity here. But for guys who don't know that, this is what is covered in the very first introduction of geometry nodes. Just to show you the power of geometry nodes. With very minimal understanding, you can create abstract arts. So now this you can replace this with Susan or anything. Then you got a nice, collection of objects in a certain direction and rotation. You will be using this node in a lot of places, and if you have seen any of my other videos, you could have already seen the potential of transform geometry node. We have used it in a lot of places, almost in every video. So yeah, so that's it about the transform geometry nodes. If you find this video useful, please like it, share it with your friends. If you have any questions or you want me to cover any specific topic in Blender, please let me know in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel. I will see you in another cool video. Thank you. Bye.